Hi, this is Faith Bernard, the Holistic Entrepreneur, and I'm very excited to be doing this training today on how to use LinkedIn to rock your business. And I'm actually going to make two videos, this one and another one. The first one, we'll be talking about the reach out process on how to reach out to professionals on LinkedIn and make that connection and take it to the next step. And then the second video will be my follow-up process. So it'll be like a 1-2, 1-2 punch, so to speak. I'm super psyched. I've created some other videos on LinkedIn training, but I've perfected my process and shortened it so that now it's much more direct. And it overcomes some challenges that I will share with you that I was having when I was doing it the old way. And what else did I want to say about that? I just want to say that this is specifically for my Isagenix team. I am going to create a second set of videos that will be generic for anyone in any business to use. Or I may have it part of a package that I actually market and sell, because this information is so valuable. I can tell you now that if I had had this strategy 2-3 years ago, oh my God, game over. It is, LinkedIn is the place to be. And we're going to talk about why that is in a moment. And we're going to talk about some of the statistics, just so you have those. And then we're going to get into the strategy. And again, the first step in this video is going to be the reach out. And then we'll go from there. And I'll tell you about some of the, the downsides and upsides and what you can expect. But again, this is geared to people in Isagenix, specifically my team. Please keep this video within our team for now, because we don't want LinkedIn to get completely blanketed by Isagenix people to the point where it renders the strategy not as effective. And again, I just think that, I just want to give you guys every opportunity to really utilize it. And again, we know, unfortunately, a lot of people won't utilize it. They will look at it, they might think about it, they might try it a little bit, but they don't really follow through. But for those that do follow through and really take it to heart and apply it every day, at least 5 days a week, it's going to completely change the complexion of your business for the better. So let's do screen share here. And we're going to go to this one first. I want to talk a little bit about people are catching on to the power of LinkedIn. I love this Fortune magazine. Everything you need to know about LinkedIn. I've got to get a copy of that. I'm going to become a student of LinkedIn because it really is a gold mine. Treasure trove, I like to call it. Forbes magazine, the anti-Facebook LinkedIn. Oh my God. I want you to imagine if you were at a chamber event or a Business Network International referrals group event, or a trade show for business owners and prospective, employers and employees. I want you to imagine being at this incredible networking event, and that you have the ability to network online, and that this is a global phenomenon. That's just how powerful LinkedIn is. And I'm just super psyched about it. You know what? I just realized I don't have the audio mic that I want plugged in, so I'm going to take the moment here to do that. Just realized that I hadn't done that, so I'm going to go ahead before we get any further. Let's see how this works. Okay, so testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. I'm going to just move this a little closer, and I think we'll get better audio that way. So I'm hoping that's working beautifully. And again, my apologies, but I think that audio should work well. Okay, so let me go back over to my browser here real quick. And I have another slide that I want to show you guys. So, oh, I did. It went right over there. Cool. Okay, so why LinkedIn? 200 million people on LinkedIn. 2.6 million companies with a LinkedIn page. Average LinkedIn salary is $112,000 a year. Twitter, the average salary per year is $58,000. Facebook is $61,000. Wow. I think we need to pay attention. And if you see this Mojo thing down there, that is a software program. It's a little bit spendy. It's about $1,000 up front and a couple hundred a month. But for people that are super serious and can afford to do it, it's a great way it's a great software program. I think I still have to find out more about it, do some more research, find out if it's Mac compatible and a little bit about the ins and outs of how it works. But it's something I might be investing here in the near future. But I definitely wanted to show these slides, and it happens to be some slides. I did a screenshot from a presentation they have, and I thought it was well worth showing these slides because it really drives home the point why LinkedIn. Now I'm going to go ahead and change pages here real quick. And let me get over to, let me see here. Just want to show you, my inbox is full of people responding to my reach outs. And most of them are very, very positive. I mean, you're going to have, and because this is geared to Isagenix, this particular video series, you're going to have people already involved with Isagenix. You're going to have people that have heard of Isagenix but are just not interested. You're going to have people that are looking for a job, and you're going to have people that are receptive, and people that really haven't heard of Isagenix or just heard of it a little bit, but they don't know a lot about it. So you're going to get all gambits. So don't worry. You are going to get people that think, oh, well, you know, I'm looking for a job, so on and so forth. But just be aware that it is a numbers game. No matter how good the platform is, you do have to play with the numbers until it starts working in your favor. So we're going to focus on the Holistic Network Exchange. That's the group I'm working on right now. I'm about halfway through it. I'm going to actually show a message that I'm using. Okay, it's highlighted here. I'm going to see if this is actually showing on the Hangout. Let me just go back. No, it's not. So let me go over here, take it off screen share for a second. It goes upside down for me. Let's see if I can get this. If I go over here, I'm going to see if it's going to share my, here it is. Yes, it is. It's showing up. Okay, so this is the message that I'm using. I'm going to be highlighting this. I'm just going to go ahead and do this because we're going to copy this message. This is my reach out message, and I do need to explain that I've changed my process. It used to be a two-step process where we first had a message that we sent people through a group to individual members of that group, whereby, what I want to say, whereby we would first go ahead and send them the invite to connect with us on LinkedIn. And then once they connected with us, we would send them the second message. There's a downside, and the downside for me was that one night let's see, there's about 20 members per page when you click on members inside any group on LinkedIn. And, you know, so basically what happened for me is I went through it and invited 5 pages worth, so 100 people in an evening that I, you know, wanted to connect with them, and we're a part of the same group. And you would think that would be no problem. However, it tripped up an algorithm, and there was enough people that said, hey, I don't know this person, even though I did say, hey, we know each other from the group. They probably clicked on something before they read my message, and it tripped an algorithm in LinkedIn that now requires that in order for me to connect with someone on LinkedIn, I must submit their email address in the connection request. And I've done that a couple times now, because once I do connect with them, I can easily get their email address. But I will tell you this, you don't want to go there. First of all, a two-step process takes a lot longer than a one-step process. And not tripping up the software algorithm to, you know, put you in a sense in a penalty box. I was being penalized because, hey, certain percentage of people said they didn't know me, and that becomes a negative on LinkedIn. So in order not to go down that road at all, I'm going to save you time and save you from tripping that algorithm. So you can see my message here. So what I did is I combined 2 messages into one message. And the first part of the message says, I see we're both members of, It can be any group. This particular example is the Holistic Network Exchange Group. I would love to learn more about what you do and get connected on LinkedIn. So that's the first part, because you want to tell them how you're connected to them via the group that you share in common. And then the second message is what I would have sent the second time, but now I'm sending all together at one time. I am a professional recruiter for a health and wellness company headquartered in Chandler, Arizona, which is rapidly expanding, and we're looking for sharp individuals to help with our expansion. And then I'm selective on whom I reach out to, and I have no idea if making an additional stream of income, helping others on the side of what you do now is even of interest. However, based on your background, you seem like the type of person we're looking for. Or you may know some you may know someone sharp like yourself who may be interested. If not, no big deal. I love to help you any way I can. Please let me know either way. Take care of Faith. Now, so what I've done is combine two messages into one message. Let's go over now to, I actually probably need to change my screen share here, so let me do that. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate that. I'll get off of this, get back to the regular thing. Well, let me get over to my browser. And yeah, so there we are. So that's where I wanted to be. Just want to make sure. And now we're going to go here so you can see. Okay, so here's the group. Now, typically when you request to be a member of a group, some groups will instantly make you a member. Others you'll have to wait 24 to 48 hours. And some groups are so busy and have so many people wanting to be part of the group, you have to actually go to the group leader, or what they call group owner, and request to join that group. So it can vary depending on the type of group it is. Most of the groups, instant access, but some 24 to 48 hours. I recommend with a really strong group that has a lot of members that you go ahead and message the owner of the group, which will be indicated at the top of the page, and click and send them a private message asking that you would like to join, and maybe share a little bit about why you want to join that group and why you're passionate about it. Again, it's sort of, in a sense, you're selling yourself to be a part of that group. So this particular group I'd already been a member of. So you can see here's the member area. I'm going to actually go over to the page here, so I'm actually looking at it. So there, I don't want to leave the group, so I'm not going to click on that. Typically, when you first come to your group page, you're going to be clicking on members, and it brings up all the members. But I'm already started on this group in terms of reaching out, so we're just going to show you a couple examples. I usually like to see a picture of a person and not something other than that, but we'll go ahead with this. I'm going to send the message. I'm no longer trying to connect with them here, so don't go to connect. Go to send message, because you want to bypass the connect, because if you do too many of those and you trip up the algorithm, LinkedIn could penalize you, will penalize you, not could, it will penalize you, and you're going to be required to submit an email address to connect with someone. So just don't go down that road. We're going to click on send message, and I always put love to connect. My browser remembers that. And then you want to personalize it. This is a very interesting name, so I'm just going to, not Wanaki, something like that. Sounds like an Indian name. I like to do a couple spaces, and then I'm going to copy and paste my pre-written message. Double check that it all looks good. Make sure that when you go to a new group that you change out the name of the group in your actually part of that group. They're not in that group. So you want to make sure that when you're cut and pasting that you double check the group is the correct name. And check it out. Now, I'm going to recommend that you do, when you sit down to do this, that you do 5 worth. You have to have the numbers work for you. Couple tips, don't prejudge too much. You could all these people, you don't want to do that. Because the ones we think will be interested or not, and the ones that don't seem appropriate sometimes are the ones that are most interested. So you really have to just sort of go ahead and send the message out. There are some exceptions where I know absolutely, I feel very strongly that it's not appropriate to send it to a particular person. I scan them very quickly here. If I'm inside a group like this, I pretty much know that everyone's a potential, not unless they're there as a vendor and they're there to supply services to holistic coaches, if you will. There are some cases of that going on, but typically they are people that either could have a personal interest in our products, or definitely we're gearing this to people that could potentially be interested in the business opportunity with Isagenix and have a passion for health and wellness. So again, a couple spaces. I'll just do one more of these. Again, we're pasting that message in, we check it, make sure it's the right group in the message, send message. And again, just don't get attached. You have to work the numbers here, because you are going to have a certain number of people that don't want to have anything to do with MLM, rightly or wrongly. They don't understand it. You're going to have a certain number of people already involved with Isagenix. You do get a few of those. And you're going to be getting people maybe have heard of it, and they're just not, for whatever reason, they don't want to move forward with it. So you just don't get attached. Okay, so love to connect. Just remember, we know the numbers are going to work in our favor. And we know we are offering something that is huge, a huge gift, and a huge opportunity for people that are ready, willing, and able to avail themselves of the gift. So we're looking for the people that are ready. So some people say the low-hanging fruit. I don't know if that's the right metaphor, but you're looking for the easy, people that are ready. You're not trying to convince anyone. We're not in the convincing business. We're in the sorting business. I think it's amateurs convince and professionals sort. So you've got to remember that when you're doing this. Just have fun with it. Don't be attached to the outcome with any particular one person. And okay, so that's basically what you're doing. You're going to do 5 pages of that at one time. If you can do this, 5 pages of reach outs, 5 days a week, you're going to get lots of traction. So I'm going to end here as far as the reach outs, because you've seen how that works now. But I can't emphasize, don't just do 1 page. 3 is okay, but 5 is so much better, because that's approximately 20 people to a page. So you're looking at around 100. There might be a few people who skip over if they're completely just seem like, again, you don't want to prejudge, so it's really hard to say. So sometimes I just go ahead and send it out to everybody and know that the ones that are interested will get back to me. And sometimes I have people get back to me that are not interested, but they really appreciate me reaching out. And I will tell you that this message has been received very positively. But it's important that we don't appear to be spamming the LinkedIn system with the same message. So in other words, it's important that we check with each other on which groups we're working in, because if we all start working inside the same group, it will be a big turnoff, and it'll be counterproductive, because then the work that you've done could go to sort of the negative if they feel like they're getting bombarded by the same message from numerous people. That's going to be a turnoff. And so I do want, that's why I am being a little bit cautious about how I get this information out there, because I want it to be a win-win for everybody, but I don't want to appear that we're spamming people over and over again with the same message. So it's very important that we check in with each other, check which groups you're working, and if I know you're working, XYZ groups, then, I'll go ahead and not work that group, because I know that you're working that group, and we want you to get the very best response, the very best experience, and being professional and checking in with each other is just a good thing to do. It's going to be good for the people that are receiving the message and good for the people that are working this system. You know, we know there's going to be some repetition and sometimes there's going to be some crossover, but we just don't want to make it, you know, we want to do everything we can to mitigate that crossover. Now, the other thing I learned that I didn't know when I started is you'll notice on every group that you only have 25 pages that you have access to. So approximately 500 people per group is what you have access to. Right now, even though a group may have, you know, 20,000 members, 10,000 members, 8,000 members, you're not going to be able to access all the members. It's just sort of the idiosyncrasy of LinkedIn groups right now. Maybe at some point they'll be willing to write the software in there where they can have all the members show up. For whatever reason, they haven't wanted to invest in that side of the equation. And here's the other thing about why do we do groups? Because one, it gives us a point of connection. We can say in our message that we're part of the same group. It gives us something in common that builds trust. So that's one reason why we work groups. The other reason is that typically if you're trying to go direct to someone and message them, they may or may not see your message if you're not already linked on LinkedIn, hence the name LinkedIn. But inside a group, you can private message someone or direct message someone and not get filtered out because you're part of the same group. So this is why groups are so powerful. One, it gives you a point of trust and commonality with that individual. And you can also be a little bit niche marketing. You can specifically target groups that are more likely to be receptive to what we have to offer. So you have trust, niche, receptivity, target market, and the fact that only inside a group, when messaging members of the same group that you're a part of, can you directly message that individual without being filtered out, if you will. It's going to give you a lot more ability to connect with a greater number of people. So that is on that. So I talked to you about the limitation as far as only 500 people that you can reach out to per group. So come up with 5 or 6 groups that you want to target initially. Let's compare notes, make sure that we're not crossing up on groups. Wherever you can do local groups that pertain to your state, that will help a little bit with keeping some separation there. And then there's topic-specific groups like health and wellness groups, and those obviously are people from all over the country that are part of those groups. And again, let's check in so that we don't have that cross-up. Let me go back. Sorry to keep stressing that, but I just think it's really important that we do this right. Because we do it right, everyone's going to be a winner, and we want you to be a winner. So with that, I can't think of anything else. I'll do the second video on the reach out, you know, like what I do as a response. but this will get you set up to start reaching out. 5 pages worth. You got to do your arm might feel like it's fallen off when you're cutting and pasting so much, but it's going to be well worth it. Until you're ready to invest in that software from Mojo Marketing, where they allow you to, what that software does, by the way, is allows you to reach out to 100 people a day automatically, and you can target, you know, specific groups of people, which is really, really cool. So I think at some point I will be investing in that, but that is a significant investment, and right now you can so easily do this yourself. Just be willing to commit a little bit of time each and every day. Do this consistently for a month, and you're going to change the complexion for the better. You're going to have a robust, exciting business, and this is something that we can duplicate with other team members. With that, everyone, as always, catch you on the next video. Video 2 will be coming out shortly on how to respond back to those that respond to you. All right, everyone.